welcome back to Snark Tales. In this episode, you may notice we're no longer inside Snark Tales. I gotta click on the thing. That's because I fucked up and we lost some footage, but we were right at the end of Mega Snark. And fuck that level. I don't feel like playing it all the way through again just to see the final screen. So we're going in.
Long story short, we get bored.
We got bored, and now we're getting bored again.
Yeah.
And Leslie has some tasty tales for us.
Yes. So in previous episodes, you may recall me having spoken on a schizophrenic that I share internet spaces with, and on occasion he goes on nonsensical rants. Well, he went on one today. Earlier today, and then later while I was at work. And they're not super long for him, but they're still, like, buckle your little seatbelts, kids. And these are cold opens. So he opens at 3:21 this morning, and he says, "Good news you guys probably wouldn't believe. Good news regardless of my influence. Related to physics, baptism, and people in the public eye. At least my own. That's all I will say. Fuck it. Was practicing some serious magic, and I'm kind of ahead of the curve as far as philosophy and religious thinking goes. Brian Keating puts out an email pretty much asking for spare change as far as, like, magic goes. The taglines on his emails read as Magic Monday and different things to try and sort of clickbait people to read his newsletter. But the play on mystical concepts and that stuff is mysterious or something, but never that attractive. I tune into the most recent Into the Impossible podcast, and there's a shift. Brian Keating used the term blessed, not in a way that felt great to me when I look all the way back, but they're experimenting. Eric, he doesn't say who Eric is, and his force has always been inherently atheistic, anti-magical thinking. Brian brings up a Roman god, Janus, I believe, and asks Eric what the god is for. Eric says deception. Brian answers back, no, he was the god of portals. Eric kind of chokes on his words. He knows his time is coming, maybe. I'm not even all the way through, but this man Eric, I do hold to be a genius, maybe corrupt in his convictions, is asked about his origin story of his relationship with physics. Brian says that he is a fan of origin stories. So basically, what is happening is the atheists, the pure, almost authoritarian relationship with math that they have, at least, and especially in Eric, is coming into question. The origin is no longer void, and physics are no longer cope. We can actually vie for the entire picture, and not just the picture someone wants it to be. Feels like Eric is getting baptized. He's talking about his dad introducing him to physics, how it was some relativistic relationship about getting shafted buying a boat, and how he grew up knowing that the way the world is described to him did not match up to his own description. So to ask himself if he was crazy, he went into mathematics. Cope fucking detected. Just so you know, we're operating in the world of genius. Brian Keating is the fucking guy. And it's funny because culturally, I'm making the strides where he seems to meet me. He's getting around to the freedom of thought that I already have. Through faith and the like, I think it's desirable, and Eric's worldview is collapsing, and Brian's is just beginning. I've said this on Instagram, if anyone follows me there. It's coming together, and none of you get credit because you only believe in me after the fact, but it's to be expected, pretty much. So yeah, keep being cool, XX. And it's not perfect, but hey, I don't care. I said, I don't think I believe in you regardless. Someone comes in and corrects him and says it's probably the god Janus and not Jans. And then says, what do you mean by freedom of thought?
Probably
and
the
then,
god Jambliss.
Yeah, and then people don't respond to him, and then the server Buddhist comes in and says, weren't we talking about Janus when you were here? Because the people in the server, like, met up. IRL. Mm-hmm. You asked why I locked the door behind me when I left to get food, and I was like, gotta respect Janus, bro. The schizo comes back and says, exactly. No response to any of the shit I just fucking said. Nothing about different paradigm. Nothing about faith making its way into physics and being used by physics to aid in its pursuit of reality. All bullshit. All bullshit. In response, it doesn't matter what I do. It wouldn't matter because you guys would try to see through it. And that's what upsets me the most. So fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Keep being cooler than me. Stupid games win stupid prizes. The Buddhist pings him and says, bruh, Maybe it's because what you're saying doesn't make any fucking sense. You watched a podcast and now you're a supreme philosophical magician wizard? Great, so what does that mean? And then someone else responds to him and says, what the fuck are you talking about? Schizo responds and says, dope, I'm with the ushered paradigm I brought God to Brian Keating. Eric was always a tyrannical presence in physics, and Brian said, F you. Someone says, oh, so you know Brian? He says, not exactly, I'm just annoying. I was noisy about God in the comments, dating back a good while. You should listen to the episode with Eric on. Brian has liked my comments before, so he's seen them. I only make arguments to allow for God. I express belief because Eric is tyrannically involved in physics and is stalled. Wants more theory, but wants to separate people from who are more esoteric. You should listen to the episode. Brian bringing up a Roman god to Eric is something Eric wants no part of, and the way I was experiencing the conversation felt the true nature of the universe was being revealed to me. Eric is involved with Peter Thiel and is one of the most influential people on Clubhouse. Without Eric's Lex Fridman would probably not have Lex Fridman would probably not have a platform. And he's one of the most popular podcasters to date. So what I'm saying is, if we look at Eric, his paradigm is dying, and rightfully so. Most of his talking points reside in crisis, and some danger that we'll all be subject to. Nuclear war is around the corner, I want nothing to do with these people, etc. To allow for a Star Wars analogy, he's a separatist. He has gone through great lengths to enforce his worldview. Not always, but I've seen him at its worst, and it's ugly. Eric resides in pure mathematics, a godless, paranoid domain. But when we listen to the counter-arguments Brian offers, and even in the tone and the position he is holding, we can see that he's actually dealing the cards, that the world has caught up to Eric, that Brian has the ability to cast him out if he so chooses, because Eric's behavior has now become clear, not without the assistance of even questioning the possibility of God existing. Eric wants the door closed, and he wants progressive physics. You can't have both. I helped this. I've been vocal about this. And even if no one knows who I am, I think about this. It's not about God existing or not existing, but through the entertainment of some deity, we can use the imagination again. A great example would be the discussion of aliens and what advanced species would look like and how it's possible they could be here. That's what I believe is important about God. If we're asking questions about life forms, about intelligent life, pure mathematics is not the whole story, but Eric desperately wants it to be and has gone great lengths to make it so. Listen to the interview. I said, I'm not reading all of that. Happy for you, or sorry that happened. He pings me and says, fuck you. I say, only if you ask nicely. He says, fair, and that's the end of the interaction. So a few things can be picked up. One, this absolutely cements that he's more than schizophrenic. He's delusional in a few ways. He has delusions of grandeur. He also has, I forgot the name of the type of delusion, but he thinks he has these relationships with people who he doesn't know exist. Like, a few times he directly and indirectly mentioned he had influence over their conversation. And it's gotten to the point where people used to kind of joke around when he would go on those, like, tirades, but it's gotten to the point where he's become up in arms with people he's actually friends with and told them to go fuck themselves when all they say is, I can't understand what you're saying. So how'd you feel about that episode? I thought it was really enlightening.
I'm glad you did a little ESPN fucking play breakdown at the end. Because I gotta be honest with you, I did not understand a fucking thing he said.
Yeah, no, literally. I feel like part of the context of what he says can only be gleaned through having, like, spoken to him and known him. Because if I just said, oh, he's some schizoid on the internet, that, you know, that could be a joke. Only through, like, reading what he actually says can people start to realize, like, he genuinely is disconnected from reality in some ways. Like, he has these fucking insane delusions. It's so bizarre, because when you hear that someone's schizophrenic, you're like, oh, haha, crazy, haha. But you don't... It's just fucking insane that he thinks he has these links to these people he's never spoken to before. The basis for him having, quote-unquote influence the conversation is he said something on one YouTube video and the creator liked the comment. He didn't say what the comment outright was, but that was enough justification in his mind for him to be like...
They're practically best friends.
Yeah, essentially. It's just fucking insane. And, like, the Buddhist, he's, like, the fucking chillest person in the server.
Mm-hmm.
Even he's gotten to the point where he's like, dude, you can't keep getting, like, up in arms with people that you know and that care about you because of some bullshit you say. Also, my favorite part of that whole thing is way at the beginning. He says, let's see, what is it? Was practicing some serious magic and am kind of ahead of the curve as far as philosophy and religious thinking goes. He just said that he's at the forefront of, like, philosophical and religious matters.
Yeah.
You know, never mind, like, the Pope.
Yeah, no, he's literally the Pope right now.
I hate to say it, but I think Sigmund Freud has more merit than he does. And I don't really want to give Freud any credit.
I know nothing about Freud other than he...
Oedipus.
Oedipus complex.
Also the whole, like, oral fixation thing, he was the originator of that.
Like, he invented it? Or, like...
He coined the term, coined the concept. Like, if you look up oral fixation, like, what is an oral fixation, all you will see, other than, like, slang terms, is Freud.
Okay, so he didn't, like, invent the first one.
What do you mean?
He didn't, like... He wasn't in his garage building the first oral fixation. He just, like, named it.
No, he saw patterns in children and came up with why some kids would be more likely to, like, put things in their mouths than other children.
Weren't we just talking about this, though, that, like, kids do that to fucking experience the world?
Yeah, Freud isn't very smart.
I'm touching the lava.
Well, I mean, he's smart, but he's also just a fucking dipshit. He is more so talking about, like, the behavior carrying on into adulthood. That's where, like, the oral fixation is. Because his theory is that children who did not get enough oral learning in their infancy seek to fill that in their adult and teen lives. Something along those lines is what he said. I didn't fully pay attention because it's Freud.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but that doesn't sound totally crazy. Because I love putting shit in my mouth.
Yeah, me too. I, like, am constantly putting something in my mouth.
Yeah, there is nothing better than just grabbing something and fucking chewing on it.
Absolutely. What was I gonna say? Oh, fun fact. So you know, like, have you ever had a conversation or overheard a conversation or read something where people are talking about cannibalism and they think, like, the butt would be, like, a good place to eat?
No, that sounds fucking disgusting. Why is it not due?
Yeah, so people seem to think, like, oh, if I was a cannibal, I would eat someone's glutes. And, like, the reasoning they usually give is, like, it's a well-developed muscle. Because, like, humans walk upright and we need that muscle. However, people don't seem to realize that, like, there's a lot of fat on people's asses, and, like, uncooked, like, human fat is really tough, and also it doesn't look appetizing. It's bright fucking yellow.
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah. Subcutaneous fat, bright fucking yellow.
The whiskus.
It looks like corn.
Unmelted cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
Does she heal me when I save? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, do I gotta go in all these goddams, or do I just gotta go in the right one?
I think you go in the one at the end.
Yeah, because I found Skippy and Boonstant in it.
Yeah. People think...
Okay.
People think that the butt would be the best place to eat. And, that pretty much originated from... Do you know who Albert Fish is?
No. Did he invent fish?
No, he was actually, like, a fucking vile, murderer. Like, he pretty much almost exclusively preyed on children. In his adult life, at least.
Okay.
And he... kidnapped this girl and like murdered her and ate her, and then wrote a letter to the girl's family, like telling them what he did, and like how he like roasted her ass and ate it. So that's where it comes from. Oh, he also had this really cool hobby where he would stick he would soak rags in kerosene and shit, and then he would stick it up his ass and then light one end of it on fire like he was a Molotov cocktail.
He's just pretending.
He was a real big sadomasochist. Like, if you like look up Albert Fish X-ray, a picture of his pelvis will come up, and all around his pelvis you can just see like 3 to 4, sometimes 5-inch long needles that he just shoved under his skin.
Ugh.
Yeah, because he was a sadomasochist.
Why the fuck do we always end up here? Why can't we just one time, when we're playing a fucking kids game, just be silly goofs? Why do we always gotta be like, have you heard about this fucking prolific murderer? Or like, dude, did you know about fucking genocidestation.com?
Genocide? What the fuck is Genocide Station?
I don't know. I fucking made it up, but that's not the point. My point is we, like, when we played Bad Dream Coma, we were just being goofballs and having a good time, just being little smartasses. And oh, dude,
Listen,
there's
man,
fucking
yin
robots
and
in the
yang.
skies.
Yin and yang.
Do I just
No,
go?
they're far
Do I
away.
just-
You can't attack them.
Wait, do I gotta fucking bit the bat back at him, or what's the
I
dealio?
think you just have to run. You can hit it back at him if you want.
God. I saw a pimp at work today.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so he rose up in his slab with
Was
his
he
hoe.
actually, or did you just think he was?
I don't know. He might have been.
Okay.
So he's got a purple bandana on, and then like it looked like, you know, like a stereotypical big ass cowboy pimp hat, you know, but
Yeah.
also like kind of fedora-ish, if that
Okay.
makes sense. So like it wasn't as big, and it had the more round top.
Okay.
Oh, do I just need to keep bapping these back at him? And then he had like a big ass macaw feather sticking out of it.
What the fuck?
So he rolls up to the end of the biznarn, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we're digging down!" And he's like fucking waving his arms out the windows.
What the fuck?
So we go over to him and we're like, "Hey, what's up, man? What do you need?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I need to do me some fucking insulation." And then he like tries to high five us. So we're like, "Okay, what do you
Okay, so he
need?"
was tweaking.
Oh yeah, and he's got his like fucking hoe, as it were, in the passenger seat. Looks just fucking terrified. So like he mumbles some more, like, you know, yeah, at us like Donnie Thornberry.
Yeah.
And we figure out what he wants, and we help him find it and get
What
it.
did he want?
Installation.
Okay.
So we get it to him, and he's like, yeah, man, you guys fucking working out here. It's too hot working out here, man. You need to get what I get. And then drives off.
Well, what did he get?
I don't know, but I assume that means he does not do physical labor. And judging by his appearance, his actions, and the woman in his passenger seat, that's what leads me to believe he's a pimp.
Okay.
And you know, his slab, the whip was
whip,
like,
as
it
it
was a
were.
fucking pimp mobile.
Okay.
Why is there a street lamp inside the portal?
You know, rolling up in the whip.
Here we go. Me and my homies pocket a slab outside.
The whip.
In the whip. Yo, we're dude, I fucking killed them all. I'm such
You
a
did.
badass. I'm fucking like, I'm Squad City over here, gang. No. I guess I could have gone forward, huh? I had the time. I had the
You
power.
did have the time.
Why do I fear success? Oh, it's a laser fazzle. I guess I gotta kill everybody.
Why do I fear success?
Good
Good question.
Next time on the Impossible Starfwitch, rolling up into slab. Look forward to it.
I love, like, bizarre encounters. You might have encountered a Greek god.